Once upon a time, in the heart of the Australian bush, there lived a koala named Ken. He lived in a tall eucalyptus tree with his friends, a kookaburra named Kiki, and a possum named Peter. They loved their home, the fresh air, and the beautiful trees. One day, some careless campers came to the bush and set up camp nearby. They made a campfire but didn't put it out thoroughly when they left. The next day, the wind blew and a bushfire started. The animals were shocked to see the flames spread so quickly through the forest. Ken and his friends immediately knew that they had to help the other animals escape the danger. Kiki flew over the treetops to alert other animals, while Peter went from tree to tree, waking up any animals who were still sleeping. Ken climbed down the tree to search for any lost animals. As they made their way through the bush, the fire grew more intense. They could hear the crackling of the trees as they burned. Suddenly, they came across a family of kangaroos who were trapped by the fire. Ken quickly sprang into action and climbed onto the back of the mother kangaroo. "Quick! Everyone hop onto me and we will hop to safety," said Ken. The kangaroos hopped on and Ken and his new friends hopped away from the flames. As they made their way to safety, Ken could see that the fire was getting closer and closer to their home. "We need to find a safe place to hide," said Kiki, who had rejoined the group. "I know of a cave nearby. It's safe from the fire," said Peter. The group ran towards the cave, but the fire was getting too close. Ken knew that they had to think of something fast. "I have an idea," said Ken. "We need to create a wet barrier. If we can keep the fire away from the cave, we will all be safe." Ken and his friends quickly gathered some large leaves and filled them with water from a nearby stream. They placed the wet leaves around the entrance of the cave, creating a barrier between them and the fire. The fire raged on, but Ken and his friends stayed safe in the cave. When the fire had finally passed, they emerged to find that much of their home had been destroyed. "I'm glad we all made it through safely," said Ken. "Me too," said Kiki, "but we need to make sure that this doesn't happen again. We need to remind people to be careful with fire." "You're right," said Peter. "We need to spread the word about protecting our home." And so, Ken, Kiki, and Peter set out on a mission to remind everyone to be careful with fire and to protect the environment they all shared. From that day forward, they worked together to keep their home safe and ensure that all the animals in the bush could live peacefully and happily together. And they knew that as long as they had each other, they could overcome any obstacle.